Every day we listen to Baba's Murli, and Baba is cautioning us, and Baba is, every day telling us to pay attention to becoming pure, because Baba can see that the world of purity is coming, and we children cannot take any of our vices there. So in that new world, there is no scope for lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. So on one hand, there is Baba constantly inspiring us, giving us the strength and the pull to embrace purity. And Baba is telling us the method of how to do that. So as much as we remember Baba, so that purity will happen. And on the other side, there is Maya. And Maya is also creating a very fierce, crusade against our becoming pure. And Maya is pulling our man buddhi into all kinds of thoughts and engagements and seeing and hearing, which is making us more and more vicious. And the simple rule is, if you don't use it, you lose it. So it is very important that the sanskars of impurity, so we all have sanskars of impurity. So what are sanskars? So in the sanskars there are habits of thought, feeling, attitude, action. So we have so many habits. Habits of thought, habits of feelings, habits of attitude, and habits of actions. And all these habits, there are so many of the habits which have their root in the 5 vices. So there are thought patterns that are lustful, there are thought patterns that come from anger, that come from ego, and there are habits of feelings which have their root in the 5 vices. There are habits of attitudes and habits of actions. And before we go to Satyug, all these habits have to change. And these habits, and what Maya is doing every day, is giving us one or the other reason to engage in that kind of thinking, seeing, feeling, and it is giving force to our lustful, ego-based, anger-based attitudes and actions. So in this, in this struggle between both of them, so Baba says it is very important that you make effort. But today Baba says that this is very easy yoga. This is very easy yoga because Baba is coming and teaching us every day, and Baba is giving us the power and the love that we need to change from impure to pure. So if we took Baba's help, if we remembered Baba and took Baba's help, then this purity or breaking the cycle of impurity is very, very easy, and I think easy and only possible at this time. So it's easy and it is only possible at this time, in this diamond age. So Baba says we must make the effort. Now the thing is, you see, so you look at any art or anybody who becomes something. So take a cricketer, take a painter, take a dancer. So what they need is sadhana. So every art form, so becoming an artist or becoming a painter or becoming a dancer or becoming a cricketer or becoming a researcher, that also needs sadhana, what we call sadhana in Hindi. So that also requires concerted, consistent effort. Yes, and what does the dancer do? So I don't know if you have engaged in any of the art forms, or if you have tried, being something, even if it's in the form of a skill, if you have practiced it. So if you have learnt dancing or singing, or if you've learnt, maybe anything, maybe novel writing, story writing, research work, anything you do, what does it take for you to do that? It takes a lot of patience and lot of practice. And there was this one little girl, and she came, and she's 6 years of age, and she's been learning dance since 3 years. So since she was 3 years of age, her mother has started sending her to a dance school, and she's learning. Now I asked her to show some steps. So I said, show me what you have learned. And then she showed me 4 mudras. So she just stood and sat in 4 postures. And then I told her, show me more. So she said, I've learned only this much. So I said, how often do you go to the dance school? So she said, every day. I have dance class every day. And then I asked her mother, so did they teach only these 8 steps in 3 years? So her mother said, yes, it takes so much time to perfect one step. And they are learning it, every day, and every day she has to practice and she has to train so that she can get each posture right. And I was just thinking, you see, that every art, even when you sit and even when you're doing something with just the body, so if you're just trying to keep the body still, if you're just trying to keep the body in a certain posture, that also requires so much of practice and patience. And here it is about so many things. It is about bringing spiritual stability into myself, stabilizing myself in peace and happiness. It is about finishing the old karmic accounts of 63 births. It is about creating a fortune for 21 births. And how much do we practice? And what is practice? So how do we practice? So every time you get it wrong, you start over. So that is practice. So don't give up and just start over. So even when you're learning to dance, if you couldn't keep your hands still for maybe 5 minutes this time, then you again start and again take 5 minutes and keep your hands still. So that is how you practice. So are we practicing stabilizing ourselves in our, in our swaroop? So just holding that, holding my form in my awareness. So I'm not the body, I'm the soul. So am I just practicing to stabilize myself in that form? So am I practicing enough to just hold a point of light that I am, my form of point of light in my awareness? Am I practicing to hold it? And how do you practice? Let's say I take a target that I want to just hold my form of light. So I'm a soul, I'm a point of light, and I want to keep that in my awareness. I'm not even talking about my quality or anything, just my form. So forgetting the body, forgetting the world, and just remembering that I'm a point of light. If I just hold this awareness for 5 minutes, if I've given myself a target that 5 minutes I'll hold this awareness, and then my buddhi wanders, my intellect goes somewhere, and I have other images coming into my, in my awareness, then I have to understand that from that time onwards I have to again practice for 5 minutes. Again take that target that I will keep my spiritual form. I will not remember any physical form of the world. Just hold this one form. I'm a star in my awareness for another 5 minutes. And this is how we practice. And the question is, Baba is inspiring us to practice so much. But am I taking that inspiration? Every day in the Murli, Baba is saying, remember me, remember me, remember me. But am I taking that inspiration and really making that sitting? And it is easy. But it is not easy because it doesn't require, you don't need to do it. So it's not easy. It's not easy, which easy doesn't mean you don't need to do it. Easy means if you do it, it will happen. So easy Raj Yoga means if you take the step of courage, if you do it, it will happen. So if you wake up, if you sit, if you practice, then it will happen. That is why it is easy. It is not easy because it will happen even if you don't do it. So easy means if you do it, it is going to happen. But we have to do it. If we don't practice our stabilizing myself in my spiritual form, in my spiritual quality, in my spiritual religion, if I don't sit and practice sitting in Baba's remembrance, then that remembrance cannot color me. And you see, this old stuff, and I will tell you one thing, I was just thinking about how much of projection we do. So if we really understand ourselves, at the end of 63 births, the soul is a mess. It's a mess, a total mess. And in that mess, there is all the memories and the sanskars and everything of the 63 births. So 63 births, we've been body conscious and all the false belief systems. So, There are habits of thoughts, feelings, attitude, actions, all which are making us miserable. And all of those habits are there inside us. And then every time you are thinking, seeing, hearing, doing karma with the old world, those habits are getting reinforced. With each karma, it's getting reinforced. And then what are we doing? We are constantly connecting ourselves, interacting with the old world. And just think about it, we have our own baggage, and we have our own baggage that we are carrying, which is based on memories and actions and all the sanskars that we have created by thinking, speaking, acting viciously. Yes, so we have that baggage that we are carrying, and that's a huge baggage. And then for 63 births, how much of other stories also we have internalized? So it's not just my own journey, but so much of internalization of whatever I thought was going on in other stories also I have internalized. And now the biggest Maya is, this phone and the videos and the news and everything that's coming from it. And you are also allowing all of that to become part of you. So, all the lust, anger, ego, attachment and greed that's coming from the scenes and the sounds, all of that is becoming part of me. And then we perceive as we are. So every time we behave, we are projecting our inner world onto our external situations. Yes, do you understand that if you want to see clearly, you have to have a clear pair of glasses. Yes, if you want to see clearly, a clear pair of glasses is absolutely indispensable. It has to be there. And if your glasses are tainted, you can never see clearly. And if you can't see clearly, how can you act clearly? If I can't see clearly, then how can I act clearly? So, I had this person I knew, and this person had a vision defect, and he would see everything which was straight at an angle. So there was a problem with the vision, and whenever he saw something which was straight, he would feel it's a little twisted. So it's towards the right. And then what happened, this person was getting his television installed on the wall. So the television was being installed on the wall, and there were people who had come from the television company, and there were people who had come from the cable supply company. So, he was getting a dish TV also, dish antenna also installed. So those people were also there, and these people were also there, the TV ones. And then what happened is, this person was very unaware that my vision needs correction. And then he thought that the TV people have installed is not installed straight on the wall. And he said, just move it to the left, it's a bit slant, so just move it to the left. And then what the TV people did is they did what they were asked to do. And there were the cable people also standing there, and they said, why are you doing this? This is perfectly all right. This is straight. Why are you putting it on slant? And then the TV people said, this person wants it like that, so we are doing it. So he said, no, this is straight. And then then there was a conversation where this person was told that maybe you have some problem with the vision. And then he went to a doctor, and there the doctor told that yes, it's not about the television or the wall, it's your vision that needs correction. And then he got operated, and there was a correction, and then he could see what is what. Now you see that because, so we have many times discussed that smriti is responsible for vritti and drishti. So whatever impressions of all the 63 births we are carrying, and whatever we are doing now, so the seeing, the thinking, the hearing, all of that is coloring my perception. My glasses are tainted. And more often than not, the defects that you are seeing in other people's personalities is a reflection of the defect that is there in you. So what you're seeing in the other person is basically the trait that is in you because you have internalized it. So we are seeing green, but it's not the scene that's green, it's my glass that's green. And it is a very important thing to understand. So if whenever you see somebody, you see them with mistrust, it's not because they are not trustworthy. It could be absolutely because you have a sanskar of mistrust. So we are projecting our inner world onto the outer world. And if we cannot see clearly, if we cannot see what is what, how can we behave appropriately? So if my vision can see somebody as a threat, if my vision can see somebody as a target, if my vision can see somebody as an opportunity, if my vision is seeing somebody as somebody who will fulfill my needs and my desires, then how can I have pure feelings and good wishes for them? Because my vision is tainted. So I am seeing somebody as nice and somebody as bad, but that's because of my vision. And how can I behave properly and soul consciously with both of them if in my vision one person is good and another is bad? So this is what we are doing all day. And this is why, yoga is very important for dharana. Because yoga will clean you of all that kachra that's inside. So if all that cleansing doesn't happen, then you will keep projecting your kachra on the outside. And if you keep doing that, your behavior, your attitude cannot be full of pure wishes and good feelings. It cannot be so. Because until you are clean, you cannot see another soul as a soul. You're full of all that taint which is inside you. So what Baba says is, stop thinking about the body, stop thinking about people, stop thinking about situations, stop thinking about everything in the old world. Stop seeing, hearing anything of the old world. Just keep me in your awareness. Just keep my form, my virtues, my powers, my sweetness in your awareness. And it is not easy, it will require a lot of practice. Because every time you try to hold Baba in your awareness, there are 10,000 things coming in your awareness. And then you have to start over and start over and start over, and then you have to do that tapasya. And in one of the murlis recently, Baba said that tapasya is when you concentrate your man and buddhi only on Baba. That is tapasya, and that tapasya will give you that tapasya will give you the siddhi, that you will be free from all this inner kachra that is tainting your vision and your attitude. And only when you can see right can you respond right. This is why when you remember Baba, your buddhi will have discernment and decision making power. So when can you discern and decide well? When can you see what it is really like? When you remove your glasses. So when you're free from all that subconscious, internal residue, only then can you see what is what, and then you can give what you need to give, or you can respond the way you need to respond. And because Baba is clean from all of that, so Baba doesn't have all of that, so Baba is also in the Murli giving us the right attitude and the right vision. So Baba is telling us that, our attitude towards everybody should be that, this, how can I benefit this soul, or how can I, do something for this soul. But the vision should be that this is a soul, but whatever else we see apart from the soul, and apart from the fact that what can I do to benefit the soul, all that is my own internal baggage that I'm carrying. So if I feel that somebody is unworthy, it's because that is my programming. I feel I'm unworthy, so I'm projecting it to that person. But if I come to that place where I know that I'm God's child and I'm worthy, then I will see everybody as worthy of respect and love. But because it has been drilled into us that if you don't have a job, if you didn't get good grades, if you are a female, if you are dark, if you're this and that, you're unworthy. So I have not come out of that cage. I am not seeing myself as a worthy soul, come what may. And that's why I'm projecting it to another one and calling them unworthy. And that's why I am choosing to behave in a manner which is the opposite of love and respect with that soul. But Baba in the Murli is saying every soul deserves respectful communication. But I say, okay Baba, everybody, but not this one. This one is a jungli, doesn't know anything. So that's not true. That's the thing that I'm carrying inside. And so Baba is telling every day, just don't look. And whenever you're looking at the old world is reinforcing your old sanskars, and it is reinforcing that taint on the glass. So it is a sadhana that one has to do, to not think, not see, not hear, live in this world, but not have any thought, any feeling, anything about this old world. And here we are not only remembering our stories, we are delving into other people's stories and into fiction and what other people are creating for commercial viability. We are going into all of that and messing up our inner world hugely. So Baba says, the first thing is purity of senses. So detach from how do you first detach from the old world? First detach from the seeing, hearing, eating, physical give and take of the old world. That is the first thing. And even when you are doing a job or there is engagement which is necessary, just keep yourself in that awareness, in that spiritual awareness, and do your work. So just so even when your hands have to do something, your hands have to search some data on Google, let your mind be away from it. So see that, apply it and leave it there. Don't carry it. So that is the karmic account, that where you have to engage with the old world. You have to go out, you have to travel, you have to engage, you have to talk, you have to see. But while doing that, see but don't see. Make that effort. And please don't pick up and see. So the first effort is, we are all in the name of entertainment, we are messing up our minds like anything. So if you are seeing everybody as a violent person, it is because you are watching violence. And I will tell you, there is a brother, and he has a very messed up relationship at home, and he studies a lot of psychology and how, when somebody is talking like this, what is their intention, and how they are thinking like this, and what kind of personality disorder they have, and this and that. And what he does is, he goes home and he is observing his wife from morning till night, and whatever she is doing, he is saying, this is split personality, this is this disorder, this is that disorder. And just imagine the kind of vibration he is sending to his wife. And their relationship is a mess. But why? Because you are holding that in your awareness and projecting it onto somebody else. So why are you watching that kind of stuff? If you watch a lot of that kind of stuff, then that will mess up your mind, and you will start thinking like that, and you will start targeting everybody and saying you are like that. So this is what is happening. You are watching some, and you see, we already are messed up, and we choose our serials and our movies and our documentaries and whatever according to our sanskars, and then we reinforce it, and then we say, you see, the world is like this. No, but you are only seeing that part of the world which is like that, because that's your sanskar, and then you're reinforcing it and you're projecting it onto your world, and then your world is becoming like that. So this is what we are doing day in and day out. And I'm telling you this thing because, you know, even in Gyan, we have a lot of experiences where people start calling, you know, they call me names, and they will start writing me messages that you're like this and you're like that and you're like the other, and you have this intention and that intention. And then I sit down with those people and I talk out to them, because you see, not everybody will do that with you. But the thing is, you're projecting something which is inside you onto me, and because I know this, so I will clear that up with you, and then I will accept you as a pure soul. But the thing is, if the other person doesn't know that, and you are projecting all your thoughts and feelings and your perception onto them, then they also start reacting accordingly. Yes, so every day you tell somebody you are a violent person, you are a violent person, they tell you, okay, I'm violent now, let me beat you up, and then you will know how violent am I. And then they start beating you up, and then you say, you see, I told you you're violent. But what is that? that is what you're doing, and you're projecting it. And if you hold that in your memory, so if you hold something in your memory, it is not just in your memory, it's in your vibration, it's in your words, it's in how you interact with them. You are speaking volumes through that non-verbal communication. And this is why Baba says it is very important that you sit and just remember me. Just remember the truth that I am saying, just remember the peace that I am sending, just remember the purity, the pure love, the inspiration, whatever I am giving you. Just anchor yourself into that. And this is a tapasya. This is not something that will happen just by listening to the Murli. You have to sit and do that all day, all life. This whole last birth, we have to keep doing that. And only then, you know, it will start working, and we will start seeing what Baba is saying. And when you're colored by Baba, then you can see the true color of the world. The true color is very beautiful. What is the true color? Everybody is playing their part. And everybody is interesting and wonderful. Somebody is getting angry. What is your problem in that? Your problem is you are getting angry with them. Otherwise, somebody is getting angry. What is your problem in that? That's entertainment for you. That's the same thing you go and watch in a theater. And why can't you enjoy that? Because there you are body conscious and you are getting angry with them. So you take care of your problem, then the world is a big entertainment. It's wonderful. And you can also help them. You can be detached and loving. So today also Baba is talking about, you know, how we have become monkeys and how all the 5 vices are working, and then why we shouldn't see pictures, and why we have to understand this is my last birth and be pure, and then how I am a soul and how Baba is a soul, and Baba is coming in Brahma Baba's body, taking the chariot, and he's talking. So I also have to be aware that I am a soul and I have taken this body, the chariot, and I'm working. So all of these things that Baba is saying, I have to keep rotating in my buddhi. Okay?